What's up everybody, I'm fresh out the theater, just saw Dope, and here's my review of the movie. So I first saw the trailer for this movie about a couple of months ago. I got instantly excited for it. It had some great music, it had a great style to it. It just got me amped to see this movie. I was also really excited because I was happy to see that there was a movie coming out in the summer that wasn't a big summer blockbuster movie. You know, this is the season of the Avengers, Jurassic World, Pixar movies, like all of this big stuff, big name, big action, you know, big movie flicks are coming out. I wanted something that was different and alternative. It's always good to go see something that's just a little bit smaller in scale, but it's still a great story. So Dope premiered at the Sundance Film Festival back in January, got rave reviews, it got offers from 6 different production companies, and now it's finally getting its wide release, deservedly so. So the film, it's executive produced by Forrest Whitaker and is directed by Rick Famuyiwa. I don't want to butcher the name, but those are the directors and producers of this movie, and it has an awesome young cast to fill out the rest of it. So let's just get right into the movie. First off, the 3 main characters, they are obsessed with 90s cultures. They're geeks at heart. Like, they have their own punk rock band, they like Game of Thrones, they like weird fashion, they like the things that other people in their neighborhood typically don't like. So they go to high school in Inglewood, California, and it's not the most, you know, safe place in the world. Like, there's gangs, there's Crips, there's Bloods, there's bullies, all these different things, and they're geeks, so they kind of stand out from the rest of the pack. But that's a really refreshing thing to see in this movie, because we're seeing a different perspective to what, you know, might typically be represented in different forms of media as far as young black inner city youth, you know, who are going to high school. Like, the 3 main characters, like, they're extremely intelligent. Like, they got nearly perfect SAT scores, they want to go to college, and the main character, Malcolm, played by Shamik Moore, he has aspirations to go to Harvard. Like, Harvard, we already know how prestigious Harvard is. So off the bat, that makes this a really different movie than what we are typically used to seeing. What I think is really good about this movie, though, it's like a blend of, like, you know, John Singleton and Boys in the Hood versus like John Hughes movies that came out in the 80s, his teen high school flicks like, you know, Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like, it's kind of like a blend of those. Like, you got, you know, cool, geeky, nerdy kids, but they're still in this environment that's like menacing and cutthroat, and it's kind of like a jungle out there because it's survival of the fittest. Already we're getting a different perspective, you know, of what, you know, high school kids can be. We're not getting the same stereotypical representations. Like, these kids, they're obsessed with the 90s, like I said, so the way they dress, their style, the things that they're interested in, is just completely different than all of their peers. But after we meet these characters, the story, you know, it picks up really fast. It goes right into it. A$AP Rocky, he's a pivotal character in the movie. He's a drug dealer, so, you know, automatically some things get real sticky at a party. Things kind of get crazy. Some drugs come into play, you know, so you got all these different factors going on. The drugs come into play with the 3 main characters who know nothing about that. But, you know, even after they stumble upon these drugs from A$AP Rocky's character, Dom, they're gonna use their intelligence in order to figure the situation out. Like, they're not gonna freak out and overreact. They're gonna use their intelligence to figure out what they're gonna be able to do. The story is really intricate from there. I'm not gonna get into it. Any spoilers, just go check it out. But from there, they devise a really smart plan in order to get this weight off of them. The film, like I said earlier, has a really good cast. Like, you got some young actors and actresses that are a part of it. Zoe Kravitz is in the movie. You get an appearance from Rick Fox, who's in the movie. That was a nice surprise. Like I said, A$AP Rocky is in it. Shamik Moore, he's the main character. So you got a really fresh cast to fill out this movie. So you get new perspectives, and you also get some veteran actors that are kind of in there too. The movie was thoroughly enjoyable. It's hilarious. Like, it is hilarious. There are a lot of funny moments in this movie, and Shamik Moore as Malcolm, he was just perfect for this role. He's a geek at heart, and you just believed him. You believed his performance. There were a lot of moments where he was taken out of his comfort zone, and he just didn't know what to do. He kind of freaked out sometimes, but he was perfect for the role because it just made sense. What this movie also does well is it gives us another high school movie that will surely become a classic. You know, high school movies, especially in the 80s with, like I said, John Hughes movies, they had their own voice. They were a genre in themselves. High school movies now, we don't see too many of them, but this is a really nice addition to just the whole high school genre film. It's also one of our first looks at what it's like to be in high school in this era, in the internet age, the digital age. The movie incorporates, you know, those elements into this film. You start to see how social media plays a factor. You start to see how technology plays a factor. We haven't really had that exposure to what it's like to be in high school during this time. So it gives you a fresh, unique perspective of, you know, growing up in the internet age, you know, which is what we are known for today. So automatically that sets this movie apart from any other peers. And finally, probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, and I got whiff of this in the trailer, is the emphasis on 90s hip hop. There were a lot of tracks that played throughout this movie that were, you know, from 90s hip hop. As I was sitting in the movie, I found myself bumping my head a lot. You had A Tribe Called Quest come on, you had Nas, you had, you know, a lot of old school tracks, Busta Rhymes, Leaders of the New School, just old, good, really, you know, really good 90s hip hop. And obviously, you know, the golden age of hip hop, the 90s, which is what I consider the golden age. It was almost 20 years ago now, you know, we're talking about. So you're not hearing that music that much more, you know, nowadays, unless you're listening to it on your own. So it's really good to see a film incorporate, you know, that old music, as well as some new music too. You know, they incorporated new music. So overall, the soundtrack was just spectacular. So Dope is an extremely refreshing film. It's creative, it's fun, it's entertaining, it's hilarious. Definitely go check it out. This movie is definitely worth seeing. I said earlier, it's really good to get a movie like this, you know, in the midst of these big summer blockbusters. It's really good to get a movie that's more down to earth, you know. Let's just get something that's grounded, down to earth. It could be a real story. It could really happen to somebody, you know, and shout out to the movie. It had a powerful message towards the end of it, really. It has a powerful message. You just got to think about the climate we're in this country with, you know, situations like Mike Brown and Freddie Gray, Trayvon Martin. Has a really powerful message into it. So the score that I'm giving Dope is a 9 out of 10. Yes, a 9 out of 10. It was that good. It was that amazing. Like I said, fun, hilarious, entertaining, powerful message, great soundtrack, young, fresh cast. It deserves a score that it's getting a 9 out of 10 from me. As always, follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram, JRW the Creator. Go check out my website, www.jordanrwilliams.com, to check out all my other reviews of movies, music, and more. And I will see y'all next time.